back to work because advertising definitely needs to stop. And this kind of stuff is insane. It doesn't need to be happening. People buying products to put on their face because of their vanity, delivered in trucks causing pollution, all this insanity. When you sit and I don't, one of the stuff with the multiverse and the what is that other crap that they talk about? Multiverse and oh shit, I don't know. I don't pay that close attention to it, guys. It's just not that important, understanding a meaningful existence and reflecting the truth of your existence and understanding the natural laws and obeying them to love one another without trying to destroy everything to keep your finite. If you like Jesus said, if you try to save your physical life, you'll forfeit the true essence of your existence. And trying to save your physical existence to know everything and live forever, you'll destroy everything you need to appreciate the gift of life. And that's pretty much what the natural laws, it's pretty much explain. It's explaining to you, And that's what's so beautiful about the finite gift of the life of sacrifice is the gratitude, wow, I was sitting there watching Big Bang Theory, and the Callie girl, man, she's fun to look at. She's so fun to look at. And you sit there and you go, wow. And then I remembered, when Raquel came over my house the first time, she laid on the bed, and I just lay there and let me look at you. And she kicked her heels back and she giggled. And I was like, it's just fun just to look, like look at the mountains or the sunrise or the sunset or the trees, and when you were young and you used to, make love with your fiance or your wife, and you would just sometimes just sit back and just take her all in, and her eyes and her mouth, and Law used to bite her little bottom lip, and you just sit there and you just it's just wonderful. It's like watching better than watching birds, because birds pecking order sucks, but when you have scientists like these guys are portraying on TV, inside your house in a virtual presence, you don't get to fully enjoy it. There's no privacy. There's no intimacy. It robs the whole room of the romance. You have these pathetic, selfish people that have trapped everything in the atom. And they talk about all this stuff, and I went and watched this on this Democritus or whatever stuff, and I'm like, oh, god damn, and the Magi, and fuck. And these great, spiritual masters and all this stuff, and it's like, no, we're just people like you, but we don't trap the glory of the soul in our ego. So, in that regard, we're radically different than a lot of you. Most of you trap the soul in the ego. Okay. Either your brain has no limitations and you can quantify the universe because you're brilliant, or you're selfish and dumb as fuck and you're God, and anybody who doesn't agree with you isn't brilliant enough to understand how brilliant you are, and you're like, seriously. And it's just, it's a lot like when I was with, my exes, and it used to get really hard, but it's probably because of the virtual presence of people that these guys are pretending to be like. Besides you and you, is there anything else you can talk about? And when you look at Sheldon's character, it's like, no. Okay. When he had the brunch thing and he was being real shitty, to Stewart, and he just, you didn't realize, you don't realize, if you're, we're hundreds of, relativity, Albert Einstein, hundreds of thousands of years, life's eternal grace is infinite, and if you're a humble person that loves life and cares about other people and is empathetic and respectful, it's hard to put yourself into that home invasion, jealous, mind-raping pervert's shoes, because you're just not that way. And I told you, they did that a lot of me at first when, I was in Sierra Vista, and they came and it was horrible. They'd come to challenge you at your extortion gig, and they would attack you and insult you and abuse you. And you had to be polite because you'd get fired, right? And then when you said something intelligent, they would get belligerent and abusive and psychotic with you, And then there are the ones that would come in and butter your bread because they thought you had the same ego problems as them. And you thought, okay, great, these people are going to help me, apply physics of the Lord's Prayer, share it globally, forgive debt and trespass, no more home invasion from perpetrator. But no, that was fucking back in 2009 and 10. It's 2016. How much help do you get? I get help from guys that are trapped in hell and have trouble getting out. So, I know there are people that are humbling up. I've had some good conversations with Jeff Hinton in my brain lately, and I've really appreciated his canter and his how do you Jeff? Jeff is kind of like, when you look at the pictures of him, I saw pictures of him. They showed me pictures when he was young. And he's, kind of like Leonard and Professor Snape, And he's not, a nuclear jock and all this stuff and everything. Everything's pretty much what people would refer to as nerdy when they're shitty, right? And, people can be real shitty. Oh, God, they can be horrible. Jocks like Mick Daly hitting the ball at my face and me knocking it down and him laughing, And I would have been, oh, God, I almost killed you. That's how I'd been like, oh, my gosh, let's not play anymore. I don't want to hurt anybody. And then you get people that, the kid who pushed me into his girlfriend on the bench when I rolled my ankle, Bob thought I broke it, He was laughing, I can't tell you how many times. And then when that one kid at Marshall Elementary, when he was trying to do my dunks on the hoop and laid out and knocked himself, and I came up, are you okay? And then and he got up and said, okay, and grabbed me by the wrist when I went to shake hands with him. And he kneed me in the gut. And he was laughing, and my friend Ron was laughing. And so Steve Vargas was pissed. But yeah, so it's, I don't understand. When I was watching that Benicio del Toro movie, when he takes the grenade and throws it in the other people's car and blows it up, I kind of chuckled. I'm like, God, they're so stupid. It's just, you can't help it. You become jaded like them. I don't pay attention to, when I was younger and I'd watch things like that, I'd be in horror. And I used to have talks with Jesus, like when I watched, what was that movie, The Seven Samurai? It was horrible. It was a horrible movie. Terrible. They have katana swords and they're real slipe and they're disemboweling, they're slicing each other up like ribbons. And I was like, I hate to get a paper cut. And I'm watching this movie and I was just horrified. Like, that'd be terrible. And that's, the whole time and then there was the poster thing was Bruce Lee getting all tied up with the guy with the claws and then Jack Palance and Christopher Lee and all that. And Jesus said, Earl, when I was 5, don't worry about it. What? Yeah. You could walk up to the biggest guy, Martins Licis or, John Cena or something, 5 years old. Sweep the leg and he falls back and bounces his head off the ground and do like a little Chinese girl that can break cinder blocks of her fist that her dad taught her and shove, take this and shove the nose right to the back of the skull. Crack! You can do it. And I was like, okay, so don't worry about that kind of stuff. Just be kind and be protecting and be loving and just be a good, gentle person, a kind person. And next year I went to school and that's when Mom was worried about me. And she said she watched me at the playground for a half an hour, navigate around the bullies and go around the kids that would be bullied or having a rougher time and just be kind. So, Jesus got it covered. And then you get these people say, it's no fair, he cheats on the test. There is no test, asshole. Okay. There is no test. Learning is a lesson. If it takes one kid 5,000 times to pull his head out of his ass and live the Lord's Prayer, then, it's going to take 5,000 times. If one kid, you just go, oh, dude, I get it. Okay, like Patrick, when I was raising Patrick, smack, that'll happen. Okay, Dad, thanks. Noah and Natalie, they still do some of the same shit. Okay. Patrick's angry because Patrick got abused. Because he got selfish and his mom and his aunt manipulated him with his selfishness. And he paid horrifically for it. And then instead of blaming himself, he blamed Amy, and he couldn't blame Natalie because he had a ginormous crush on Natalie because she was so funny and cute. Right? And then he thought to himself, what if I had been around? How would I have been able to protect her better? And so, yeah, naturally, if Patrick they hadn't have gotten Patrick out of the house, They wouldn't have been able to attain what Dave Miscavige and Tom Cruise and all those guys did in Santa Fe. And said none of that stuff would have happened. Me and Patrick talk, about anything and everything. The two girls at the MU, the two hot blondes, Dad, how come your penis is big and hairy and mine is small and not? First of all, you're giving Dad way too much credit. You're going to pass him by about 6th grade. Secondly, you'll get hair once you probably get past 6th grade, just right past 6th grade. And the Mormon girl's losing her mind, and the hot blonde, the really sweet one, is just laughing, going, these guys are great. This is better than Adam Sandler of Big Daddy. And I'm like, I totally blew it. Yeah. But the thing is, I didn't. No, I had to do what I had to do. Guys, second time around, life's eternal, grace is infinite. When I'm done cleaning up this hellhole through the health of the eternally faithful, we're not going to put up with these assholes selling us pants and Stitch Fit and selling us hamburgers and selling us ketchup and, share a care given according to Steve built to last. Yeah. You're a multi-billionaire that owns a football stadium. Oh, God damn, they're insane. And that's all going to go away. With these big monuments to insanity, like, you better build them to last, because you ain't going to build no more. And you better learn how to maintain them and keep them maintained if you want to keep them going. I would just say, just start doing real good renovations on the LA Coliseum and the Rose Bowl. If you're in LA, And don't worry about SoFi if it falls apart. If it was built like shit because you guys act like shit, then that's what you get, right? Just let it, instead of let it sit and fall around and make it for animals trying to survive nature and irrational, we'll just tear it down. We'll just do the blue magic, tear it down, start over again. We can, tearing down stadiums where mass murderers got together to discuss people's lives as if they were commodities or business deals. That ain't gonna, that's when that's a field. And then you hear a theme to a summer place, And the La Brea Tar Tips, you wouldn't think that the dinosaurs would be so close to town now, would you? Right. So does anybody know how to mount a whale? So it'll all work itself out. It'll work itself out, and everything will be so much better, and we won't have stupid ass commercials like that. Stupid people, We got a great new idea. Okay. Forgive debt and trespass, love one another, eternal faithful peace. Then when you have faithful communications eternally, like Haile Selassie said, when it benefits all and it's good for people and it lasts and it helps and, better quality of life, then you have wisdom and you share that wisdom, you share care given according to need built to last. Oh, Proverbs, how sustainable, right? So, this is stupid when they go in the freezer and then they say, we can do all this stuff inside before we go outside. It's fun. It's absolutely dumb. Yeah. I've been in freezers like that. I've worked in them. Yeah, you don't stand around like you're in the North Pole that cold, jumping around and act that way. You get in and you're still warm. You just stepped right in, and you'd have to get in and stay in there for a while before you get feeling real cold. You get in there, you start working, you start throwing around boxes and sort of thing. Loose wedding rings. Yeah, I lost that wedding ring I bought at the Sierra Vista Mall with the 12 tribe things on it. It was too big and it flew off, and I lost it. I lost 2 wedding rings. Amy lost like 14. I'm just kidding. She'd always take them off, put them in her pocket, and lose it. I always knew. It used to hurt, but you get life's eternal and grace is infinite. And I know most of it wasn't my little Susie Bear. She told me, when we first got married and we were living on Belmont, she felt like Sybil and all that stuff, and I would try to talk to her and stuff. But then when we went to Sierra Vista, my marriages made sense, my family made sense, everything made sense. You're being fucked and mind. It's like you're like going to brunch with Amy Farrah Fowler and Sheldon, and you're Stuart, the artist with a comic book store. And just because you say things in French doesn't mean that your opinion's right. Au contraire, and shit like that. So. Sitting there watching this guy, I would have just told Sheldon, if you don't mind, I'm on a date with the most beautiful girl that's ever gone out with me, and I would rather spend my time listening to her and talking to her and seeing, what's important to her, and seeing if a lot of it's important to me, so we could spend more time together, because it'd just be fun just to sit there and look at her. So if you don't mind, could you just leave? That's what I'd say. Sheldon would get it, He'd be like, oh, okay. That's just, what's important to you may not be is important to me, and what's important to me isn't very important to you. So, go online and talk to other people that think more about comic books than they do the beautiful girl, That's just my thing, So, I'd much rather spend my time, go to the Super Bowl or the World Cup, or spend another day with your wife and join your kids. Oh, it's cantaloupe parties, and dang, just sit there and let me look at you every day, all the time. Yeah, like on Good Will Hunting, I would go see about a girl. The day Skimsky and all that, he was going to see the girl he's going to have kids with. It farted so loud it woke the dog, and he blamed it on the dog, or woke her up, It happens. I'm Anne Marie and I poot. I'm Robert and I'm a farter. Remember that from the Robert Townsend show? Yeah, that was pretty stupid. Yeah, it was. But, oh man, I'm tired. So we got the fish in. It's that timer set. Okay. We gotta, what else we gotta do? Let's take a look at the time here. What time is it? How are we at? 16 minutes. Let's see. Get that ready to go. We gotta plug this in. My toaster, everything else, I don't leave my appliances plugged in. Video game. The only one I leave in is the TV. And if it was easier to unplug it, I'd probably unplug it too. The clocks you can't, but you could always get clocks that don't require plugging in. You can get battery. This is the those kind of clocks that don't work no more. Yeah, it's my grandma's. I kept it. I could buy. That's right. I could go to Hobby Lobby and take out the clock mechanism and put those two clocks in. I could do that. I think next time I go to the store, I will. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll go to Hobby Lobby and buy a clock back thing and replace it. Put a new one in on Granny's little clock there. See it? Yeah, I'll do that. And then do Dave Allen. No, I learned how to tell time real quick right away and stuff like that. Because school was whack and I wasn't with it. And I would sit there and count down 5 minutes and watch the second hand, or 4 minutes till we get out of here. And I'm playing in the treehouse with Johnny West, or playing Frank Tavares with the tennis ball against the wall, or throwing football passes to myself and pretending I'm Gale Sayers, just out of here, man, out of here. I'm out of here. Yeah, it was kind of a drag when you're being indoctrinated by egomaniacs. Listen to me when I'm talking, because they're crazy talkers, walkers. And then they put out all these shows to make you think that, Star Trek, Star Wars, scientists, they put out all these shows to make you think what great heroes and problem solvers they are. And then all the people that are good people throughout time that they base religions off of, all the Star Trek and Star Wars and the George Washingtons and the Thomas Jeffersons and the Thomas Paines and the, Guys, if you don't understand the basics of knowledge, okay, sitting around talking about your perception with other egomaniacs isn't going to help you better be humble enough to understand the basics of knowledge. When you sit and listen to Judy Krishnamurti and Taro Suzuki talk, and then you sit and listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson talk to the science people or a Diary of a CEO, and you're like, well, here's the big problem. The big problem is you're not living in a truthful manner and being empathetic and respectful to the natural laws required for us to continue living through loving one another faithfully and honoring, commitments and beautiful gifts of like sexual reproduction. They don't. You sit and listen to these people talk for 2 hours. They're supposed to be the most celebrated geniuses in the whole fucking planet. And they don't say anything that intelligent in the whole fucking 2 hours they're talking. They just sit there and try to blow your mind. How's it going to blow your mind? Why do I want to blow my mind? Next thing you know, you're going to have me blowing up my girlfriend from Castle Boutique. Sucks, you know. And they think you're a bad person because you need help getting through hell with other people getting through hell. Psychologically, mental, emotionally, prayer. Amy helped me through some things last night. Just focus on that. Think on that. It doesn't have to manifest itself physically, but you can help other people through hell with prayer to get them through the next day to where we're finally living debt and trespass free. And we don't have to watch fake romances on TV that are meaningless and don't have any real reflection of the truth of our existence. You know, watching things like this is insane. Having to watch an egomaniac get dressed up like an idiot, act like an idiot, because he needs more money for other idiots to want to be successful like him being an idiot. That's wrong. And that poor cat, cats hate being bathed like that. And they will torture that cat to try to run awards to impress people with everything, anything, all at once, and every, you know, that stupid ass shit that these assholes do. You know, and don't tell me they're not assholes. And there's no way, shape, or form that I'm jealous of a dumbass like that. Okay? Jealous of Tom Cruise. Yeah. Obviously, they ran me over in the parking lot of Best Buy. It's not if I don't even exist. He's still making stupid movies. And me, I'm sitting here anonymously fixing his business partner's science projects so we don't have to be abused by him and his business partners in their science projects. So, yeah, there's nothing jealous about it. I'm just tired. When you call an asshole on their shit, you know, that's a good thing. And Jesus did it with the Sadducees, the Pharisees, the king of Israel, the Caesar there, the philosophers of Roma Doma 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 Dum, Rama Lama Ding Dong, all the way home and back again. You know, all this stupid shit that these monkey morons do, man. It's okay. And I'm not insulting anybody, guys. Roberto Baggio was Patrick Flavor's soccer player and fancied trying to be a Buddhist like Judah Krishnamurti they thought was, right? But he was a multimillionaire that didn't sit down for 5 minutes to talk to the Buddha to say, hey, is the Lord's Prayer of Jesus the real deal? Yeah, it is. Why don't you do it? Okay, all you are either you do is just listen to Krishnamurti talk on YouTube or listen to him address the United Nations in 1985. What's he saying? He's saying that these people are psychotic. Okay? They manipulate people with language and use invention to abuse people by getting them to accept invention as the real laws necessitated that provide life for one another through loving one another. Okay? Now, sex isn't loving one another. How many children are there products of sexual abuse and rape throughout time? Okay? Maria has to have sex with Chucho because they won't let her date Tony because he's in the other tribe and they're bad and we're good. A boy like that, kill your brother, right? And so it just fucks everything up. You know, selfishness, everything. It's all about me, my tribe, my cleats, my cause, my ego, my genitalia. You know, that's all you guys talk about. That's all you guys think about. I look forward to a better quality of life in the very near future because of the consistent work. It's the only reason why our work is hard is because you're selfish assholes. Okay? Share, care, give in accordance to need, build to last. Forgive debt and trespass, love one another. You do that, boom, work is wonderful. What do we gotta, Dad, Grandpa, we gotta get up and get the peaches today. You said they'd be right, let's go get the peaches, okay? Come on, Mom, Grandma, let's go. You know, we're gonna make peach cobbler and peach and bananas, yay! Right? I mean, don't get much better than that. Don't get no better than that. That's better than the World Cup, it's better than the Super Bowl, better than the World Series, better than the Final Four. Okay? having a woman you spent your whole life loving going with your grandkids to go get the peaches off the tree. You know, if you fall in love again, girl, take a tip from me. If you don't like the peaches, just walk on by the tree, right? Find what you love and keep it. Keep it strong and kind, but don't make your love the choking kind, right? When I see the peaches blossom, I'll regret I said goodbye. I'll remember cherry kisses and I'll cry. But I can't go on pretending that our love is never ending, because you can't be loved unless you want to be, but you're selfish. Okay? And you can't grow peaches on a cherry tree. Do, 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 do. One of my favorites. Yeah, I like Jimmy Brownievilles. Yeah. I like Send Me the Pillow. Have you ever sent me the pillow that you dream on? You ever heard that one? Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. Send me the pillow that you dream on, so darling I can dream on it too. Each night while I'm laying there so lonely. And he's you know, send me the pillow. That's a damn good song. Oh yeah. The Three Bells. That's a good one, but I think my two favorites are Can't Grow Peaches on a Cherry Tree and Send Me the Pillow That You Dream On. I really do like, he does the best version of, you know, They Call the Wind Mariah. Yeah, way out here, they do. The Browns, it's the girls sing along with it too. And what's the other one? Old Lamplighter, that's a good one, yeah. Scarlet Ribbons, that's a good one too. That's just a damn good group. Pop it top again. I think I'll have another round. Another one, my friend. How come Sheldon didn't get long hair on his head and a beard like the other guys? Because, you know, you would grow hair real rapidly up in that cold of a temperature. How come he's got shaggy hair and a shaggy look, you know, and the rest of them all look like you know, they escaped from the Planet of the Apes. You know? Take your hands off me, you damn dirty ape. Or is it paws? That's right. I don't know. So where we at? Okay, we got this. Let's get our taters, get them ready to go. Boo doo doo doo. When I see the peaches blossom, I'll regret I said goodbye. I'll remember cherry kisses and I'll cry. Guys, life's eternal, grace is infinite. If you've ever been a woman fortunate enough to love a man like King David, life's eternal, grace is infinite. You never forget it. You'd spend eternity looking for him instead of being selfish and doing the fucked up shit that you do. Okay? But the thing about it is don't do that. Right? Teach the people around you to love like him. Then you don't have to go looking for him. You already are like him. That's the best thing to do. Okay? Don't go looking for me, because I sure the fuck ain't looking for you. That was the Temple of Set Illuminati mind fucking a 4-year-old boy because they were jealous of him and they had bad science projects, and they're perpetual. They're symbiotic. Jealous, sick people are symbiotic. They're alike. They repeat the same mistakes. Empathetic, respectful people, they repeat the same perfection of faithful love. Me and Ditiro Suzuki are one. Me and Haile Selassie are one. Me and Muhammad and Jesus Christ and David and, you know, we're one. You know, when something's right, something's so right, you don't have to sell records to pay Burt Bacharach's family royalties, right? What was that? A chair is still a chair, even if there's no one sitting there, right? And a room is still a room. Like there's Uncle Jimmy, there's Uncle Donald, there's Grandma and Grandpa, there's Mom and Dad, there's the kiddos, there's Patrick, there's the 4 oldest, there's Emily and Noah, and then we haven't turned this in a while. The other side's, see how cute, pretty, he's so pretty, he's so pretty, isn't he handsome? Amy's kids, there's Steffi's boy, and there's beautiful Ray. Beautiful Shanae, Renee, Shay, and sweet and beautiful Emily, they're so pretty. Yeah, like their mommies. Yeah, I used to be kind of angry and mad because Patrick's mom was so fucking mean to me. Said she had redeeming qualities, most of them were physical. She was mean. That woman tried to kill me. She tried to gouge my ass. She injured my testicle. No, I'm not going to let her forget about it. Why? Because she hasn't ever apologized. She went through PTSD, and I said, I understand, but can't you just apologize for, not listening to me? Not respecting me and respecting our marriage vows the way I did? Can't you apologize? If I fucked around on you and tried to rip your tit off, bite your tit off, I'd walk up, Peggy Pedicide me, Tella, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I lost my mind. I was being psychologically raped by a bunch of perverts from the Big Bang Theory Screenwriters Guild. Right? That's what you do. When you do something wrong, you go tell the person you offended on, I'm sorry. I like Brenda Lee too. So sorry. Please accept my apology. But you guys don't do that. You go make movies like Tom sorry-ass, bitchy-ass Cruise. You can cruise away from that little piece of shit. He's an asshole. Dave Miscavige is an asshole too. Pope Francis is an asshole. The presidents are assholes. All top tech CEOs that ain't trying to make sure that I have access to the public and the public has access to me, assholes. The only people that aren't assholes in top tech world and political world and all that stuff are the people that allow me access to the public, and the rest of them all access denied. But it's going to pay off because, money's not real. Truth and faithful love is, and it's going to pay off for the people that talk to me in prayer. And all the people that ignore me and I don't talk to in prayer, that's your issue, not mine, right? On Oak Street, you guys are the dumbest. These stupid movies that you make affects people's brain activity and have them steeping stupid Stephen King fanciful crazy ass bullshit instead of the reality of the truth of understanding the natural laws to faithfully love of David and Muhammad and Samson and Confucius and others, So you're horrible people and you own that. You own it. Say, I'm sorry. Okay, Brenda Lee, thanks. Now let's go live the Lord's Prayer. It's not all about you. If you get more attention and it's good attention from your wife and kids and grandkids than you do from dumbasses that are just as egotistical as you and want to be a successful, egotistical dumb shit, all eyes on me. I think what Pac was trying to do was trying to get people to be better people. He knew it was going to get them killed, but he wasn't going to stop because he knew what they were living was wrong. But you guys ain't like that. You guys are like, hey, my side's going to win because I'm the sexiest, I'm the best. You're just jealous. I know, I've talked to you assholes. And that's all you guys, that's all I get from you. I got to be the best me I can be. That's by being humble and being faithful and loving. Can you be truthful with yourself? Okay. Lord's Prayer is perfect. Right. Okay. Yeah, you're being the best you can be to save yourself from your own sin. All right. Well, I have to do everything for you sorry-ass little award-winning knuckle fucks. Well, I'll keep doing it because you know how much I love babies. So, all right, y'all. I'm going to go. I'm going to put potatoes on and get dinner already up on the table. I love you very much. If I didn't care, I wouldn't come here and kick your ass every day to help your technology get better so it's more like me and less like you, and the kids can live love instead of be a fool fighting for fuck money like you. And you. Okay. Love you, all right? Peace.